There's something deeply misunderstood about girls like her. Not the loud ones, not the obvious ones, the dangerous ones are quiet about it. They don't chase attention, they become it. You think she's confident, you think she's cruel, you think she's broken, but what if everything you see is just the surface of something much darker? Inside Jennifercheck's mind, it doesn't feel like chaos, it feels like control. She doesn't wake up wanting to hurt people. That's what makes it so easy to misunderstand her. Jennifer doesn't destroy unless something inside her is starving, and it always is. Not for love, not for validation, but for something deeper. Power, not the kind you show, the kind you feel when you walk into a room and people shift without knowing why. She learned it early, that being soft makes you forgettable. So she became unforgettable. Do you know what it feels like to be seen only when you're beautiful, to be valued only when you're desired, to realize that your worth was never about you, just what you could make people feel? Jennifer knows, and that's where it started. Not the hunger, not the darkness, but the shift. The moment she stopped asking, "Am I enough?" and started deciding, "I take what I want." Inside her mind, there's no guilt, only logic. You take from me, I take from you. You use me, I consume you. It's not evil, it's balance. At least, that's what she tells herself, because admitting the truth would mean facing something much worse. That she's still that girl, waiting to be chosen. Jennifer doesn't hate people, she hates needing them. That's the part no one sees. The quiet moments, the silence after the attention fades, the emptiness that creeps in when no one is looking at her anymore. Because attention is the only thing that makes the noise stop. And when it's gone, the thoughts get louder. So she feeds, not just physically, emotionally, energetically. She absorbs reactions, desire, fear. Every look, every heartbeat she accelerates, fills something inside her, but only for a moment. It never lasts. It never does. That's the curse of becoming the thing everyone wants. You stop knowing who you are when no one's watching. Inside Jennifercheck's mind, there's a version of her no one has ever met. Not seductive, not powerful, not untouchable, just tired. Tired of performing, tired of being wanted but never known, tired of being seen, but never understood. So she chose a different path. If the world was going to reduce her to something consumable, she would become the one who consumes, not because she was born a monster, but because it was the only way she learned to survive. And maybe that's what scares people the most, not what she does, but how easy it is to understand her. Jennifer doesn't just take, she studies. Every reaction, every hesitation, every glance that lingers just a second too long. She reads people the way most people read words, fluently, effortlessly, dangerously, because when you've spent your entire life being watched, you learn exactly what people are looking for, and eventually, you learn how to become it. That's her real power, not beauty, not charm, precision. She knows when to smile, when to stay silent, when to lean in just close enough to make someone forget who they were before her. And once they do, they're already hers. Control like that comes with a cost, because when you're always performing, you lose access to what's real. Every emotion starts to feel rehearsed, every connection temporary, every moment calculated, even the ones that aren't supposed to be. And deep down, that terrifies her, not in an obvious way, not in a way she would ever admit, but in the quiet spaces between one heartbeat and the next. There's a question she can't silence. What if none of this is real? What if they don't want me? They just want the version of me I created. What if I stopped performing and there was nothing left? So she keeps going. She sharpens the image, perfects the illusion, becomes harder to read, harder to reach, harder to replace, because being replaceable was never an option. Not after everything, not after learning how quickly people lose interest in something that feels safe, predictable, soft. Jennifer isn't soft. She can't be. Soft things get overlooked. Soft things get left behind. So she built something else, something untouchable, or at least, that's what it looks like from the outside. But inside Jennifercheck's mind, there are cracks, small ones, barely visible, but they're there, in the moments she lingers too long in silence, in the way her expression drops when no one is around to see it, in the rare seconds where she's not consuming, not performing, not controlling, just existing. And those moments, they feel unfamiliar, almost wrong, because she doesn't know who she is, without the attention, without the hunger, without the power. And that's the real paradox. The more she takes, the less she feels. The more she controls, the less she understands herself. The more she becomes desired, the further she drifts away from being known. So she doubles down, goes deeper, pushes further, because stopping would mean facing it. The emptiness, the silence, the version of her that never got to exist. And maybe that's the part no one survives. Not the darkness, not the hunger, but the realization that somewhere along the way, you stopped being a person and became a reflection, a mirror, built entirely from what others wanted to see. And now, who learned too well how the world works and decided to play it better than anyone else ever could.